Okay, first things first, I'll send out a thank you, a cheers to my Heavenly Father up there in heaven for blessing us with rain the last 24 hours. And rain it was. We got at least a half an inch. We had a big rain last night, rain most of the night, big heavy rain too. Then this morning got up, was able to feed the animals, and a big black cloud came in and rained again for about another hour. We got puddles everywhere, which I was hoping that would happen. Usually if there's your first big rain, just kind of gets all sucked up. But this place got just saturated, so this was a good one. I'll give thanks for that. In this video, what I'm going to do is I got my little intro, and it shows some of my animals, and you guys know some of the stuff I do. I got cows. I got like 30-something cows out there with the bulls. I've got a horse, got a pig. Those are just pets. I got a whole bunch of goats, 30-something goats, 20-something goats, whatever it is. And then I got like 30-something, over 30 sheep. And then I got all the dogs and cats and stuff. I'm not your typical cattle operation, okay? I'll put it this way. I kind of bought my job, all right? I have a business that I'm involved in. Okay, that's where that's what pays my way. That's where I make my living, in my other business. But the cattle, I don't really consider it a business. It's just something I do. I do enjoy it. I've enjoyed it for 10 years. But I have to put money into it. Throughout the summer or throughout the winter, I put money into it, you know, feeding these animals and stuff. And then I get some of that back twice a year when I take stuff in to sell. Some years are better than others. But it's never really been a profit business kind of thing. I don't ever want to, take it in the shorts too deep. Mama, get out of there. But I've had some years I've done better or whatever. But I wasn't in it for the business side. I think I said in another video when I saw Dances with Wolves, and they were Cosner and the Indians were chasing down the buffalo, and you could hear the hooves pounding the ground, all them buffalo. That's really what got me to expand my cow herd, because I like the sound of those hooves. And when I move my cattle, I can hear it when they do that. I get a big kick out of that. Not really a profitable reason. But anyhow, some people might think, well, this guy, I got it figured out because I got all the cattle and all that stuff. Nothing I do here is sustainable. Okay? Got about 20 acres of grass out there. We get ditch water, some of the years. It's been a drought year this time. We got a couple of wells and all that type of thing. And I have a job. I have a career. I get money coming in, and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I'm sustaining this, and there's a few things that we have here that help sustain it. But this is not a sustainable. I couldn't do this forever. Okay. Right now is a good time to get out of cattle because they're paying pretty good for them, and I am thinning out my herd. It'll take me most of the year to get down to the number I need to be at. But the reason I bring this up is with all those animals I have out there, and I did the other video about getting some livestock if you're a prepper. And I wouldn't want any of you to think, well, shoot, that guy's got all those livestock. He's got it figured out. He's got it. He's going to be good in, SHTF or something. If the grid ever went down and there was no power, I could last on this ground about 2 months. And outside of 2 months, I'd either have to start selling cattle, eating cattle, giving away cattle, or shooting cattle. Okay? Because if we didn't have, especially in the summer months, if we didn't have water to pump, or there was no man-made in that water out there in that man-made ditch, that's not necessarily a creek. We got a man-made irrigation ditches. But if the system ever went kapooey, I couldn't do this. Without power, without electricity, no way. I'd have to get rid of just about everything, And if it happened overnight, I'd have to, find people to give stuff away, sell it. Maybe no one's buying. Eat some, preserve some, whatever the case is. You might have to, at some point, go out and start shooting some of them to get your numbers down to maintain what little you can feed off the ground. Okay? And so, where some of you may not have any livestock at all and wish that you did, maybe had some chickens or rabbits or, cow, sheep, or whatever. I'm kind of in the other situation. I have so many animals that if the grid ever shut down, I could be screwed up real quick. And I'm not complaining. I'm just kind of pointing some out because someone might say, "Well, shoot, you got all those animals, you got nothing to worry about." Yeah, I could stay fed while I'm watching a lot of them die. Okay, so if I can't pump water onto this place in the summer months, there will be no grass. This is desert out here in California. Don't let the television shows and none of that stuff kid you. This place is a man-made. Any green stuff you see here was pretty much man-made. As water's been pumped to it. Now, naturally, before we showed up, this was all. This would fill up in the springtime, have the runoff come out of the hills. Now, every place where there was any kind of runoff, they put dams up. So yeah, this is kind of swamp grasslands for part of the year. The Tule elk went through here, all kinds of birds and all that kind of stuff. I think there were bears here, wolverine, that kind of stuff. Salmon were, moving about. But we dried this place up. So now to do anything here, that's another thing too. If the grid ever went down long term, okay, we're going back to this, to the way back times, we'd have to go blow all them dams up, or at least get some control of those dams where we could have water released back into the system again. But yeah, I was just pointing that out, that some of you may not have any livestock, chickens, goats, and all that. You're considering it, and that's good. Get the knowledge. But then there's some of us that have too much. You can only, I got close to 40 cows out there. Yeah, there may be a bunch of people showing up all at the same time to eat them, but that's neither here nor there. But just as an example, now maybe you're in a part of the country or region, a part of the world where you have enough natural grass and rains and all that kind of stuff. Hey, that's cool. That works. But that ain't California. We've got we have to water it to get it to grow, to get them to eat it, and all that's manufactured. It's all synthetic. It's all man-made. I got clover pastures out there. It all works out good. But no water, it all die. Certain weeds that come up, but that's about it. And but when you start talking about the drought and thinking about that stuff, there's not much sustainable here anymore because we just don't get that kind of rain even in a good year. And it's so hot in the summertime when originally this was a wetland. Or parts of the year this would be a wetland, 2-3 feet deep, full of water. That's why most of your early towns were along the foothills above the water level. Railroads and all that stuff worked out that way. But you got to find that balance. I remember years ago when I first got into cattle, I'd see videos of these guys talking about sustainable agriculture. And I thought, well, that's hippie farming. They know what the hell they're talking about, And never thought about, well, what if there was no power, or what if there was, back then diesel was $1.99 a gallon. I could buy a bale of hay for cow hay was $6.50. Right now it's $19. Things were different then. Now the resources are crunching down, and resources are starting to shrink, and that's probably in every industry. But I just pointing that out, that my situation, yeah, it's I got the animal, I really enjoy it, I'm blessed with it. But it is not sustainable. And so what I'm trying to do, it's going to probably take me a year and a half, if I'm allowed that much time, is to get my entire group smaller and where that's not such an issue. And I kind of have a number in my mind, that's what I'm heading at. And I am fortunate that right now cattle are high enough in price that if it's a time to get out, you're getting paid pretty well. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. If you don't have any livestock, do get the knowledge. It's good to have, but there's some of us that have too much livestock. So it's a balance act, no matter how you look at it. Anyway, have a good one.